In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on August 22nd, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Toronto Blue Jays versus Miami Marlins. Baseball shifts to South Florida on Friday when the Toronto Blue Jays roll into Lone Depot Park to face the Miami Marlins. The marquee angle here is the anticipated Toronto debut of Shane Bieber, and I'm not convinced a fading Miami squad can muster enough offense to spoil the occasion. The Blue Jays remain the stronger club on paper, and I expect them to strike first in this matchup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Bieber hasn't pitched in almost 2 seasons, yet even a rusty version of the former ace should match up well against Jansen Junk, who owns a 5.08 earned run average and 1.21 WHIP over his last 7 starts, despite a 3-1 record that leans heavily on run support. Neither bullpen inspires confidence. Toronto ranks 18th with a 4.04 relief earned run average, while Miami sits 19th at 4.12, so late inning runs feel likely. 3 of the past 4 meetings have already sailed over, and the ingredients for another crooked total are firmly in place. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Atlanta Braves. We still don't know exactly what Nolan McLean will become. His entire big league resume is 5.1 innings old, but the kid flashed poise and quality stuff in that lone appearance. On the other side, Joey Wentz has bounced from role to role all season, and the numbers at Truist Park are downright rough. A 6.46 earned run average with opponents batting .280 and 30.2 home innings. The Mets, stuck in a pratfall of a losing streak where every break has gone against them, finally walk into a matchup that lines up in their favor. A struggling Atlanta arm, a fresh New York youngster with upside, and the sheer urgency of snapping this slide all point to the visitors grabbing one they absolutely have to have. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. Expect runs to come in bunches. Neither McLean nor Wentz has demonstrated the ability to mow down seasoned hitters for an entire evening, and both offenses have been steady scorers since the All-Star break. New York averaging 4.83 a night across 29 games, Atlanta posting 5.28 in 32. With 2 vulnerable starters and lineups that stay dangerous through 9 innings, a trip over the number feels like the most logical path. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. St. Louis Cardinals versus Tampa Bay Rays. Friday night sets the stage at Tropicana Field, where the Cardinals pay a visit to the Rays for the middle contest of their 3-game set. Both clubs limp into the weekend on the wrong side of break-even. St. Louis is 2 games under .500 and roughly 5 back in the National League wildcard chase, so the pressure dial is turning fast. Tampa Bay isn't in any better shape. 5 games below even after 127 outings and about 6.5 behind the final American League spot, and they enter having dropped 3 straight. The Rays' offense shrinks when a southpaw is on the bump, managing just a .651 OPS in that split, 75 points shy of their work versus right-handers. That imbalance nudges me toward the visitors. As our first pick for this matchup, the St. Louis Cardinals money line is our full game side pick. Run production has vanished for both sides. Tampa's lineup has been stuck in neutral, just a .635 OPS over 17 August games, and its post-break mark sits almost 80 points lower than it was earlier in the year. St. Louis hasn't fared much better, toting a .666 OPS since the break while watching postseason hopes fade. With each pitching staff still pulling its weight, a low-scoring tilt feels more likely than a shootout. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Chicago White Sox. The weekend kicks off on the south side as Minnesota, lugging a 58-69 mark, squares off with Chicago and its 45-82 record under the lights at Guaranteed Rate Field. Minnesota hands the ball to Zebby Matthews, just back from a 2-week stint on the shelf. The right-hander hasn't inspired much confidence away from home, carrying a 2-3 ledger and a 5.46 earned run average in road parks, and the Twins have come up short in 3 of his last 4 turns. Chicago counters with Aaron Civale, who took a beating from his old Cleveland mates on August 8th, but has otherwise pieced together 4 solid starts in his past 5. Neither club has piled up wins lately, yet the Sox flashed some grit during their recent visit to Atlanta. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago White Sox money line is our full game side pick. Matthews' road woes are offset a bit by a White Sox lineup that still hovers near the cellar in both runs scored and OPS, but Civale's recent steadiness and a slumping Twin offense tilt the balance toward a low-scoring grind. Minnesota has been held to 3 or fewer in 5 of its last 7, and with both bullpens reasonably fresh, crooked numbers seem unlikely. Both lineups have been feast or famine for weeks, and this pitching setup screams tight scoreboard. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Guardians versus Texas Rangers. This isn't the first game I'd circle on Friday's busy slate, yet I still lean toward Texas snatching a victory when Cleveland comes to town. Nathan Eovaldi makes his 22nd start and has been nothing short of brilliant through 123 innings, sporting a razor-thin 0.87 WHIP and a sparkling 1.76 earned run average. He did stub his toe against Arizona earlier this month, but he bounced back in style, firing 8 shutout frames versus the Yankees and following that with 7 innings of 2-run ball against the Blue Jays. With numbers like those, he's the arm I want in my corner tonight. Cleveland hands the ball to Slade Ciccone for what will be his 17th outing of the year. The young right-hander can hold down a back-end spot, yet recent form is shaky. 11 earned runs over his last 2 starts, and a homer allowed in 6 straight appearances. Texas doesn't always pour on the offense, but against a pitcher in that kind of funk, I expect the lineup to scratch out enough support for Eovaldi. As our first pick for this matchup, the Texas Rangers money line is our full game side pick. 7 of the Rangers' last 11 clashes with American League Central opponents have finished under the total, and Eovaldi's stinginess, 1.76 earned run average and 0.87 WHIP looms large in that trend. Cleveland ranks 26th in runs and last in batting average, while Texas sits 23rd in runs and 25th in average, so neither lineup is exactly humming. Combine 2 sputtering offenses with a bona fide ace, and a low-scoring night feels like the most sensible call. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.